What's up, everybody? Back again. Dip Catcher Radio. Haven't streamed in a little bit, but we're back like we never motherfucking left. What's up, you guys? Today we just made an amazing announcement on Twitter. The long-awaited Dip Catcher algorithm going live. Gonna make it available. I believe if you've been following me on Twitter, I built this algorithm in 2020, so long ago, and it's always just been a private algorithm in my own, just like all the charts that I post on Twitter, you see it in there. But just like it's performed so well for so long that I figure we make it available for others. Let's say what's up in the chat. Name in the house, always. Not host is first, but I think name got you there. Damn, yep. What's up, you guys? I'm gonna be catching these. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Always keeping us on our toes. I thought it was a joke. Is there a website? Yeah, so you can do this. We're going to talk about this in a minute, but you can access the testnet version on PulseChain testnet at pro.dipcatcher.com. Oomph. Coding never stops. That's right. What's up, Gold Key? X Clips. Rogue News. What's up, you guys? Debbie G in the house. This is loud. Is my sound? Can you guys give me some? I turn down my monitor sound. Okay, that should be good. Well, cool. So, needed this a minute ago. Yeah, imagine had I got this out literally 3 months ago, just deep into the dip. Oh my gosh. So I guess what we can do. Our profits guaranteed using this algo. There is no guarantee of anything. It's purely to help you dollar cost average. Hey Dipsy, you're such a pro. Appreciate all your innovating. Nice one. Thank you. Sound mix is okay. All right. Well, so why don't we just kick this off? Why don't we go look at Twitter right now? And let me go ahead and share my screen. And let's talk about Dip Catcher. All right. So, post it here. Dip Catcher algorithm is launching tomorrow. Let's talk about what it is and how you can get it. Dip Catcher is a TradingView indicator that is useful for optimizing a dollar cost averaging strategy. It combines statistical analysis and support resistance analysis to help you filter through the noise and locate price levels to place buy orders. So the way it works is when the background changes color, it's in the buy zone. So a market order at any price in the buy zone is a good start. But then it also gives these blue dots that turn to yellow as they get filled. The blue dots indicate a limit order target. And so that's how that works. Let's go back. So other than specific buy order targets, the indicator also includes range bands that show key levels that may act as short-term support or resistance. We'll get a little bit more into what these bands actually mean. Like what these, if you look close, you see like a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. But those are bands that can kind of help you understand the context of the local market conditions. The Dip Catcher algorithm does not attempt to locate any single absolute bottom of a dip because that's impossible, but it does tend to average out around the bottom of a range, which is a solid dollar cost averaging goal. Also, Dip Catcher is effective in preventing you from FOMOing into pumps. That's important. That's probably the most important aspect of it for a lot of people, because there's two types of people in this world. There's dip catchers and there's pump chasers. Which one are you? This one helps you be a dip catcher and not a pump chaser. The algorithm can be applied to short-term time frames for intraday dip catching opportunities or long-term time frames for macro level dips in the market. So you see here, while DCA, the algorithm was designed for like the long-term, like weekly and daily charts. If you apply it to the hourly chart right here, you can still see how the same analysis like helps round out those intraday dips. So like if you know that you're buying today, this can be a good way to just find the best price over any like 1 or 2 day period, just like by applying it to the shorter time frame conditions. But the bread and butter really is the long-term dips, long-term dollar cost average. So yeah, dip catcher. This is awesome. This is something that I think makes this thing timeless. Is that it can be used for any asset class because it's purely statistical price analysis. Keep in mind, other fundamentals and external forces not captured in the price chart have a significant impact on prices. Like price is only one factor, and just because something's dipping doesn't mean it's going to go back up. But for assets that you think are worth dollar cost averaging into, like assets that you think are valuable in the long term, dip catcher is perfect for that situation. So here, like this right here, this is the Hedron versus Hex chart. So you see it kind of rounded out that big first Hedron bear market, and it started to round out some orders, just in the last couple of weeks. But since it's gone flat, it's kind of stopped signaling, and this will start. It would start signaling again if price took another move to the downside here on the Hedron versus Hex chart. And then here, I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, you guys can. Here, this is the Bitcoin chart. And so here, it didn't signal buy on this like false dip here, but then the first time it signaled the buy on Bitcoin chart was around $26,000. So over 50% off the highs. So if you're using the Bitcoin, if you're using the dip catcher algorithm to DCA into Bitcoin, it would had you waiting until these lows to buy. So that's pretty good. And even Tesla, it's kind of, has a different market cycle. It's kind of ratcheted up and hasn't had like many aggressive dips, but it's actually done a pretty good job of sniping the weekly dip. Like right here, it's like it's sniped here, and then it is signaling here right now. So, so it works across any market, even gold. So whatever asset you care about, the dip catcher algorithm will just give you good insight on what a good dip is to scale into. And so the dip catcher algorithm will only be made available to a finite number of people. If everyone had this, the dips would be crowded and it would lose its edge. So how do you gain access? So first, once it's live, you can mint a dip catcher access pass on pro.dipcatcher.com. Here, why don't we just go there right now? Let's make sure you can see my screen. So this is on Pulse Chain Testnet. Let's make sure that I'm on Pulse Chain Testnet. Okay, I am. Okay, so. Oh wow, I see people have already started minting on Testnet. That's pretty cool. So DCA, a custom trading view indicator for optimal dollar cost averaging. How to access it? Dip catcher access passes can be minted with ETH, starting at 0.025 ETH, which is about $40, and increasing by 0.005 ETH every 200 mints. So the first 200 people get it at 0.025. The next 200 people get it at 0.03. The next 200 people get it at 0.035. And it just keeps ratcheting up until it kind of becomes unreasonably expensive, and then that'll be the end of it. The access pass is your key to gain access to the algorithm and share in the upside of its success. So the access pass, it comes with two things. One is a non-transferable proof of membership which allows you to unlock the private TradingView algorithm. So this isn't like a token or an NFT. It's just a record in the contract that records who minted these access passes. And then when you go to request access, you all you do is this site just looks at if you have minted an access pass, and then you submit an email that you sign with your wallet, and then the system checks if you are eligible, and then it grants you access to the email that you put in there. So more on that later, but that's how you gain access, is by just by proving that you minted an access pass gets you access. But in addition to that, you also get a dip catcher buddy pass. It's a token called DCA. It's a normal ERC20 token that can be given to a friend or sold on the market, allowing whoever holds it to gain access to the algorithm. So each access pass minter receives one dip catcher buddy pass token for free. And the way you use the buddy pass token is, if say you gave it to a friend, they have to burn one full DCA token to gain access to the algorithm. So the maximum supply of the DCA token is simply the number of access passes that get minted, and the supply deflates as those DCA buddy passes are burnt to access the algorithm. And so that's a pretty awesome dynamic there, where this took a lot of inspiration from this token called Socks, where it was one of the first examples of how to use Uniswap, where they had these collectible unicorn themed stocks that you could get you had to buy the token and then burn it to claim, to take delivery of the socks. So that was a big, if you look at the price chart, it's crazy. But two, I think that's like an awesome model for a limited edition product launch. And so that was a big inspiration to this. And so this DCA token, it's, the buddy pass, as people, who don't get those limited edition access passes, buy it or receive it, as a gift from their friend or whatever, as they are gaining access to the algorithm, the supply just dwindles down. And so, and an important thing to keep in mind is that if 30 days goes by without any minting, then the contract doesn't allow any more to be minted. So as soon as the access pass sales kind of taper off, as that minting rate increases every 200 users, at some point it'll be kind of unreasonable, right? And so, or just if everyone who's interested in minting got it, at some point it'll close out, and then from there, those people who have the access passes, they're in control of who gets the next batch of these. And so the reason why we did this whole access pass thing, where you get access to it, and then also you get a buddy pass that you can sell or do whatever with, is that we really wanted to have like a revenue sharing system with this. Like, we wanted people who were gonna like be those first like early minters, those early access pass minters. We wanted them to like share in the upside of this. And when I was thinking about all these different ways to just implement that and it was just going to be difficult. And because it's, this is like a relatively smaller product, like it kind of didn't make sense to build out like a whole revenue sharing system just for this. And so I just kind of reframed what it meant for revenue share. I'm like, okay, like if there was already going to be a 50% revenue share, then why not just like, for every person that mints an access pass, just give them a copy of an access pass for them to sell. And so it's like, whatever they can get for it on the market, then that's what, the revenue share is going to be. So this was like a super simple way to implement like a revenue sharing system. And that's why it was done this way. And so as you can see here, that right now, oh wow, so I bet as we've been watching this, it's been ratcheting up. So like here on testnet, where it says here that there's 200 mints, but on testnet it's ratcheting up every 10. This is live on Pulse Chain testnet right now. You see it; it's just ratcheting up the amount minted. So people are minting as we speak, and so the mint rate has already gone up to 0.03 ETH. It started at 0.025, and then as it just reaches that threshold, it just moves to the next the next one. So here, let's show how you can mint it. So here, you just connect your wallet, so it connects to your MetaMask. So here I have this says ETH, but this is Pulse Chain. So here I have 19 Pulse Chain tokens, and all you do, this is the simplest minting interface that we've ever had before. You just click confirm, a single button, and then boom, 1 DCA for me. It's ratcheting up, and then you can add it to the MetaMask like this, and there you go. So that's how that works. So it's pretty simple. So now that I've minted, the contract now knows. So when I click request access, because I've minted, it says your eligibility status is eligible. And so when you mint, you don't need to use your own Buddy Pass. Like, so my wallet here has the Buddy Pass token. And so we don't need to use our own because you're already eligible by having minted an access pass. And so here's how you gain access. What you do, this is pretty important. The algorithm is shared through a TradingView private script. And the way that you gain access to a private script is that the author of the script adds an email address to the system, and then it gets that person's TradingView account access to the script in like the script menu when you go and like click like indicators on the chart. And so this, in general, like, you shouldn't, please don't dox yourself to me. Like, I will do my best to be a good steward of the database that has just the email addresses of who gets added to it. But please, what I highly recommend is to simply create a pseudonymous email account, like on Proton Mail. So don't put your name, don't put anything about yourself. Just make an email account, like a free email account on Proton Mail, and then sign up for TradingView with that email address. Or if you already have TradingView, just go to your account settings and change the email address to the new one. So please do that. Just in general, just to add another layer of privacy to this, because you don't need to give me your email. Like, I don't want your like real email. So and because that's just kind of what's required to add it to here. That's just what we gotta do. So that is highly recommended. No one will see these emails but myself, and I will store them encrypted, but still you shouldn't be doxing yourself to me anyways. So that is highly recommended. And so all you do is you type in your email. So why don't we just do this right here? So I go Tonto at dipcatcher.com, and we click submit signature, and it shows right here a signature request. So here, I'm going to share this tab now. You see that? This is all you do. It's just you sign a message. So no gas fee. You're not logging anything to blockchain. You're simply signing a message with your wallet. So you click sign, and then it. Let me get my screen back up. Right here. So you sign it, and then that's all. You simply just, so there's no gas fee. You just simply sign it, and then so what this does is it saves to the back end. It saves your signature, the address it came from, and the email. And then what the back end system does is it goes and confirms that it was a valid signature, and then what it does is it checks the contract. It checks the DipCatcher algorithm smart contract to see if you have either got an access pass or if you burnt your DCA token to get it. So that's all it is to get access, is you just like submit an email through that signature system, and then you link that email to the address via that signature, and then that's all the information that's needed to gain access, to be granted access on TradingView. And so say you have okay, so here, this is mine because I'm pending approval. This is what the dashboard shows. But why don't we, one second, I'm going to send my buddy pass to just my other address here. So here, let me first go back here. Let me add DCA to my MetaMask. Add token. Yup. Okay. And then I'm just going to send my other account some DCA. I think this is it. I'm going to send it to transfer between accounts. Maybe account. Yeah, this one. Just going to send one. So here. Okay, and then let me switch accounts. Okay. Sent it there. And then here, let's just refresh this page. Okay, so now I imagine that I just bought so here, let's connect the wallet. I just bought a DCA token, so I got it on the market, and so I want to gain access. So I go to request access, and all you do is you click redeem DCA. And so redeeming DCA burns one DCA token and adds your address to the eligible list. So now, because you see here, I'm ineligible because I haven't been added yet. So I need to redeem the DCA token. All you do is just click confirm when the MetaMask thing shows up. Super cheap gas. All it's doing is burning it and saving that you are a member. Let's see if this... Okay, it's redeeming. Once it goes through, there we go. Boom, eligibility status is eligible. And then now you just do the same thing with the email and the signature, and you have access. So that's the two ways to get access. You either mint your own access pass, or you just simply buy a buddy pass. So that is it. Let's answer some questions, and then I'm actually going to go into some details about the algorithm, and we'll put it up on the screen and show how to use it. But why don't we go back to the chat and see what's going on? Oh, he says cut the music and repeat an explanation. I should have thought about that. Oh my god, I really should have thought about that. Sorry, dude. Oh, lower the background music. Sorry, you guys. Sitting on a cruise ship and how to take a second to listen to this amazing announcement. Wow. Thank you for being here with us while you're on a cruise. Will this work on any asset class? Yes. Would it do? Sorry, I didn't lower it. Who gets to use the dip catcher indicator? Oh, we went over that. This is awesome. Super useful. I'll be leveraging this. Don't see much DCA indications of the previous bull run, long time range. So here, I'll show you how, because one thing about the algorithm is that it has three settings. There's a conservative, a neutral, and an aggressive outlook. And so on like the default one is neutral, but so that's like not very sensitive. The conservative one is like barely sensitive at all. But then the more aggressive one is it's better for like bull. We'll go over that in just a second. Word. What's up? DCA. Is this going to be like a token we can invest? Well, you can mint the DCA Buddy Pass token, and if you think more people in the future are going to want access to this, then perhaps people may be wanting to pay you for it. So, and because the token is burnt when it's redeemed, anytime someone uses their Buddy Pass DCA token to get access to the algorithm, their token is burnt. You have to burn a full unit. So, say there's maybe like a couple hundred total minted, that means that the total supply of DCA will be, say 500 people mint. That means that 500 people get access, and then another 500 people can get those buddy passes. And then, so like, once the first 5 people go and redeem their buddy pass token, you get a, like that's like a 1% supply deflation. You know, once 100 people go and redeem the buddy pass, that's like 25% supply deflation. And so, the DCA token may accidentally become an awesome, you know, who knows what'll happen. You know, it's not necessarily meant for, like, the whole purpose of it is just to, you know, control who can access the algorithm, but the, you know, the token itself, it could be pretty powerful. So you never know what'll happen. Truly a revolutionary model. Thank you. This is a cool and unique launch mechanism. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. What do you think about adding 1 month rolling perpetual rolly to help people have confidence in other perpetuals? Yeah, I mean, I brought that idea up. I thought about it. I mean, you know, people were able to do it on testnet, so, you know, kind of doesn't need that. But maybe, you know, it's not a bad idea. Cool. Is it 0.025 ETH on testnet or on regular ETH? So it's 0.025 ETH on mainnet, and it's 0.025 TPLS on Pulse Chain testnet. So email instead of TradingView. Yes. So it is the email, and I will confirm that, but it is email. What do you think about a contract people could? We'll talk about that later. Cut the music, then repeat an explanation. Oh my gosh, I should have thought this. I'm so sorry. We'll record another one. How do I now add the indicator on TradingView? Okay, so here we'll go over this in just a minute. Gold key Clipmaster. Got my DCA token. Gonna hodl. Yeah, literally. That's what's gonna make it pump. Don't hodl it. It's a buddy pass. It's not an investment. What time will this launch tomorrow? Probably in the evening. You know. So what I'm the way you can help me is to. I mean, wow. How many people? So this means 10 per slot, 25, 30, 35. Now we're on 40. So 15 people have done this. So if you've minted on testnet already, let me know if you ran into anything weird or any issues, any bugs. I'm just, you know, once just the front end is finalized, you know, it's kind of ready to go. The music is a chill vibe, though. Thank you. I like to see how it works. Okay, we'll find that. Can't find the indicator on TradingView. Yeah, that's right. It's private. It'll only be a limited number. Can ask Godwell to set up a uni pool for DCA token to set the price to 400K. That'd be pretty wild. Someone use our email and our trading since my username is different than my email. So I'll give the final because to start adding, I have to upgrade my TradingView account, and so when I do that later today, there will be a whole guide on this. Like what was shown on that was like just kind of the preliminary information, but for like the that's like the last part of the UI that I'm just improving the content around the instructions. But yeah, OG DCA. Oh yeah, DCA. Yeah, so DCA, as far as a token name, it's new for us in the sense that it was a tough decision on what to name it. The original name was going to be Buddy for the Buddy Pass. But because you know how we like to have our token names be like pronounceable words that people can identify with. You know, Maxi, Base, Team, Trio, Lucky, Desi, Poly, Water. And so it was going to be Buddy, but it was just kind of non-congruent there. And the DCA is also, because it's like a dollar cost averaging strategy. We thought that like DCA as the token name could have been like identifiable, that it had something to do with like, DCAing into something. So that was why. But yeah, so DCA, awesome name. I don't even know if there are other DCA tokens. I haven't even looked. If there are, fuck them. OXVille said just made a Proton email. It took maybe 90 seconds. See, it's that easy, and it's perfect. So all you do is just sign up for TradingView with that email, and then you're good to go. Okay, so let me pull up the actual algorithm here, and we're gonna go through this. Win DC on CoinMarketCap. I mean, it's only on testnet now, so maybe once it goes to mainnet, I'll get a list to. Okay, let me share my screen with a Chrome tab. This one. All right, so you guys can see that. So this is the algorithm. So the way you'll add it is you'd add indicator, and then it'll show up in this thing called My Scripts. We'll do a full instruction on how to add the indicator once you have access to it. But so this is what it looks like. So let's go through these. These are the settings. So when you're just getting started, you'll want to just show hints. So this shows just some piece of information that help you kind of understand what's going on. So here it says, when background changes color, it is in the dip zone. A simple market buy in the dip zone is good. The dip zone limit order target is marked with a blue cross. And so you'll see that on the chart. And then here it shows if price is in the red zone, this is an aggressive pump. If price is in the orange zone, it's a significant pump. If price is in the yellow zone, it's a small pump. Price in the green zone, this is a small dip. Price in the blue zone, significant dip. And so there's some more information I'm going to add to these, and over time, the information, it's really easy to just update and continuously improve the understandability, but so you can get rid of the hints there. And so kind of to answer what that person had asked earlier about the bull run stuff, first of all, in Hex, it literally never got anywhere near any dip zone during this bull run. Look at that. It stayed above the orange to red band for months on end. So when it's in that band, it's not triggering dip at all. So, but here, this is the default neutral over the 30 period analysis on the weekly chart. This will be a generally more conservative one, but you can see here that the neutral one really started signaling buy once we got down to this really low level. So DCA on the weekly chart would have had you waiting until 3 cents before you put in a limit order. And so, that's pretty strong performance there. And that's on the neutral version. But say we wanted to do even more conservative. The conservative outlook kind of called the bottom on the week. It's triggering buy only down at these super low 2 cent levels. That's the more conservative one. And then here you can go to aggressive. Aggressive is if you're really trying to get in and you don't care so much if price keeps dipping after you buy. The more aggressive setting started DCAing into at around 11 cents. And that second big sell off here. And then it kind of reset. It's got this cool kind of reset setting where when it breaks through and makes new lows, it kind of reassesses where that target is. And so it's pretty good in when it has a big leg down, there's a big gap in where it tells you where to buy. The gap in these buy orders from 10 cents to 4 cents about. So, you know, that's really just like the secret sauce. And this is, I think, the determination of what is considered a dip and at what levels should the limit orders be placed at. I think that's really that's the secret sauce in all this. But yeah, so what I just showed you is just like, you know, how you can toggle the outlook just based on your own strategy, your own situation. Like, you know, if you don't have any hex at all and you really want hex, maybe you can ratchet this up to aggressive because, you know, you need to start building your position. But if you have like a ton of hex already, you know, maybe, and you're not in so much of a rush, but you want to keep buying, you know, you can toggle it to the conservative one and it's just a little bit less sensitive. So other ways to toggle the sensitivity is to change the time frame that this works on. So, you know, this is the weekly chart. So this is like long term. So this analyzes over a 30-week period. But you can always change it to like the daily chart. So let's take a look at this. So this is daily. This looks like daily conservative. Let's adjust this to neutral so we can see more. So this is the daily neutral. So you see even this, like, you know, so like the shorter the time frame, the more aggressive that the signal is. You know, like on the daily chart, you know, it starts signaling to dollar cost average in starting around about 50% off the highs. So it kind of DCAs in through this one, you know, through this band here. But then after that, it doesn't keep telling you to DCA at these, like at those original levels. Like you can kind of see how like these waves of buy signals just kind of ratchet down, you know, like, and they really just kind of catch the tail end of these push exhaustion cycles. It's really good at just catching the tail end of these. And so it just kind of, so like if you were dollar cost averaging in over since the all-time high, so say you heard about hex on September 2021, you're like, okay, I'm going to dollar cost average in on the dip catcher signal. It wouldn't have started buying until about 25 cents. And then your average buy order, if you were to just, you know, slowly dollar cost average in over this whole period, your average would be somewhere here around 5 cents. And if you compare that to had you just, you know, bought like dollar cost averaged on every day, your average price would have been, when I last did the measurement, it would have been somewhere up here at like 12 to 15 cents. So for like long-term dollar cost average strategy, it's really good at just like helping you, you know, DCA in during aggressive dumps and then not be DCAing into these like, you know, pushes back to the upside during a long-term downtrend. You know, see, like it wasn't telling you to buy up here, it wasn't telling you to buy up here. Like any pump, it's not telling you to DCA in anymore. And so it's just really good at bringing like a reasoned approach to it. And just like lowering your overall dollar cost average. And so that's like on the daily chart. So I think this is mainly useful on like the daily and weekly chart. But like, you know, say you're like, even, you know, say, you know, that you're going to buy hex, you want to buy hex, like, you know, right now, or like in the next couple of weeks, you could put it here on like the 4-hour chart. Cause, you know, like on the 4-hour one, you know, it'll go off every couple of weeks. You know, I mean, during the bear market, it's going off a lot. During a bull market, so here, let's scroll over to the bull market area and see how, like, you know, on these shorter time frames it performed. I mean, even still, like, even on the very sensitive 4-hour one, the price was basically up only for 2 years, and so it didn't really trigger very much. But like, even the 4-hour one had some buy signals on the big move up. But like, if you look at the hourly chart, this is like an intraday dips that you can see. And so if you're like a short-term trader, this can actually help you in that case as well. Like if you're just kind of looking for ranges to buy and sell, because what you can do here is, you know, you have this here where it identifies good buy orders, but also take a look at this. You're ready to lose your mind. You want sell signals on it? Type 1 over hex USDC. So right now, I mean, just on the daily chart, the algorithm is signaling to on the inverse. So this is like as if you're so like a dip would be hex price going up. DCA algorithm is, on this interval, it's signaling, a DCA sell order and like a limit order target at 1/20. So like, what is that, like 5 cents? So if you're a short-term trader, this algorithm can work. Why isn't it letting me? Intraday spreads is not. That's weird. It's not letting me. Oh, okay, because I'm still on my free account. Okay, so I can't zoom into what I was showing, but on those short-term time frames, it's can still be a useful, just like trading with. So aside from the dollar cost averaging strategy, like even for like intraday trading, it could potentially help you there. Ask Gawa, 1 DCA for 400 ETH. Wow, I would have so much more hex now if I had this sooner. Yeah. What a big dipper. What's up? Crypto BD, I missed the beginnings. When does mini start? Probably tomorrow evening. Goddamn, perfect dip catches. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really powerful. What I love doing is I like looking at just like other random markets. So here, let me show you. So the whole DCA token buddy pass system, it was modeled after this. So here, yeah, DeFi, socks, WETH, I think, yeah, that's it. So Unisocks was one of my big inspirations for this. Here, let's look at the socks. Let's see if we can get this quoted in USD terms. How do we do that? Socks WETH. So if that's how many ETH, we need to multiply it by ETH USD, I think. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you can see this, but the price started. So the price per socks, there were, okay, so to give the backstory on Unisocks, there were 500 Unisocks pairs made. So a pair of unicorn themed socks. And you can only get them by buying a Unisocks token and then burning it to take delivery. So the Unisocks supply, so let's see if Unisocks Etherscan, let's go see what the supply is right now. It started at 500 units. Now it's at 300 units. So far about 40% of the sock supply has been burnt. And when you burnt it, you got an NFT, and there's some hype cycle with it. And also Unisocks got the big Uni airdrop. Like socks holders were like major airdrop recipients. And so the price of it went from about $100 at launch to as high as $158,000. So this is one of the few things that outperformed Hex was socks. And it was because people were minting, or they were buying socks on the market to mint the NFT that you got when you redeemed it, and to get the socks, because it was like a flex. I think Steph has the socks. It was like a DeFi flex. Like you were like a real DeFi OG if you had the socks, because only 200 people have the socks, and if you did, that means that you knew what was going on. So it's kind of like a flex. You got the socks and keep your feet warm, whatever. Vitalik wears the socks sometimes on stage. It's kind of a thing. So socks was actually the asset that inspired the DCA buddy pass mechanism. And so look at the price chart of socks. It went from 100 to 150,000. So to what the folks were saying in the chat about 400 ETH, it's like not even out of the question. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's look at other markets. Let's look at the ETH chart. So I mean, look at this on ETH. it's just awesome across the board. It's pretty effective. And what's pretty good about it is that like the way that it determines what's a dip, it's not just like if the price wicks down. Like it actually has to be like a sustained dip in order for it to trigger. And so I think that's what helps it really kind of carve out these lows. Is it like it's just like really disciplined, you know? It's like sometimes everyone's like, oh, I'll wait for the dip, but then as soon as price dips like 10%, they're like, all right, dip is in, and they just get kind of anxious. But this dip catcher algorithm, I think, has a really level head when it comes to this topic, and that's what lets it perform pretty well across these different assets. I mean, even things like, let's look at coffee. So this is like a commodity, like a bushel of coffee. So I don't know how many, like maybe like a ton of coffee. No, maybe that's too much. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so like commodity prices, this is useful. Let's look at something like, okay, so here, let me show some examples of how it's not useful. If a token is programmed just to dump forever, it's probably not that useful because it's like it's always going to be in a dip. Like, so here, if we just go to okay, there's not enough days there. I mean, it still is like, even on, I don't know, like even on coins that are programmed to dump, it still kind of rounds out this bottom, you know, but if a coin, let's zoom in to get like even more granularity. Like if a coin just dips forever, like it's going to stay in the dip zone forever. And so like, you know, you don't necessarily want, like, it's best for things where like you think that they're going to be going up in general. Like coins that just dump forever, you know, it's not as useful for like dollar cost averaging in that sense. Maybe for like short-term swing trading, but for dollar cost averaging, you want to be in assets that you really like. Let's look at Hedron. Let's look at the Hedron USDC. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, I mean, look at how it rounded out the bottom of the last Hedron bear market, and then how it's kind of rounded out the bottom of this one, more recent one. So I could literally sometimes I do spend literally all day just looking at other markets and how it works. So the secret socks. I want the dip catcher sauce. See, I'm worried. Okay, but let me talk a little more about kind of the design of the minting system. So here, let's share this tab. Wow, so it's already at 0.45 ETH on testnet. It's actually kind of a difficult decision on terms of how to structure this, because like, you know, it's like the whole point of this is really like to grant people access to the algorithm. Like and I didn't really want people to game it. But also you kind of, you know, got to let people, you know, speculate if they want. Like that's the whole point of all this stuff. And so like, so per mint, you only get, you know, like you get your access pass and then the buddy pass token. But then like you can always mint again, but like, you know, that means that you don't get like another access pass. So it's like on the first mint from an address, it's like you're getting 2 accesses for 1. But then once your address has already been added, like that non-transferable proof of membership, then if you're minting from that same address, you are like, you get the DCA token. So you can get more DCA tokens, but you know, so like the first one, it's like 2 for 1, and then each next one. So like, you know, say you think that a lot of people are going to want to buy this, and you think it's going to become pretty scarce, then you can mint a handful of these. And I was kind of worried about that happening, but you know, it is what it is, and that's just all part of the game. So, you know, so if you think that you'll get a better deal by minting it and then selling your version, you know, like say you minted like the initial like 0.025 rate, and then what if like later on as the mint rate ratchets up, people are willing to pay like 0.3 ETH for the buddy pass, then those people that minted in that earlier one basically get it for free, because if you can sell your buddy pass for higher than what you got your access pass at on the market, then it's like you got it for free. So there are going to be a handful of people that get it for free, and perhaps there's some speculation involved in this, and maybe some people are going to treat this DCA token as like a rare collectible, because who knows what future could hold for it, and what if only so many are for sale at any one time? So could be pretty crazy. Is Dipcatcher free? So no, it's not free. Pull up team. Do you use Adderall for focusing while coding? No. I think Adderall is horrible. I think it's true. It's damaging to the brain. So definitely not. Pre-workout, yes. Like what you take before you go to the gym. But no. Adderall I think is really bad. If I was president, I'd ban Adderall, to be honest. Sir, when launch? Tomorrow. You should charge Hex. No, I mean, people should just keep their own Hex. ETH was chosen. Okay, there's a couple good. That's actually a good question. Why is it ETH? So the gas fees for like an ETH-based deposit contract are cheaper. So that was the main reason. Because if it's it's like effectively a $40 purchase. If the gas fee is $4, that's 10%. And so if you're doing a USDC or Hex, like in order for this to work, you would have had to do the approval step and the contract step. So already there are like 2 steps, and then the gas for each of those, and the gas for transferring an ERC20 is higher than gas for just sending ETH. So gas minimization was one reason, and then 2, like the amount that it is, like it's small enough to be like in the amount of, how you just kind of keep some ETH around as change for gas, like on anything. It's like it kind of fits into just like some ETH that people may just have in their wallets, just kind of sitting on hand. So it kind of makes that decision a little bit easier to make, where you don't have to like go and like, or you don't have to like acquire like an asset that you may not have liquid right now in order to mint. So that's why it's in ETH. I mean, just hold on to your Hex. Like what? Central Time? I don't know. When it's ready. I gotta, I'll be analyzing how the dashboard performs and just any issues there, and then, Dipcatcher Alliance, hell yeah. Water plus DC, yeah, literally, like these are like the dark horses of the ecosystem. Except I'd say water is like the most dark horse, because it's like truly backed by nothing. DCA token is at least backed by access to an awesome trading algorithm. So it's like, it's still dark horse. Water and DCA I think are like they're the ones that have like the most like, and I'd say Team is up there too. Team is probably third in terms of like unbound price potential. I think, I don't know. I mean, the DCA is more scarce. Water is also very scarce. But I'd say Water, DCA, and Team are probably like, those are the ones that have like shockingly high price potential, just because they like are just, I mean, Team kind of for good reason. Water and DCA because there's so much mystery involved, and just like general deflation. So yeah, pretty magical. Bring on Pulse Chain. Guess such a pain. We'll work on Pulse Chain, right? Yeah, I mean, the token will copy over. But, I mean, yeah, so good question. I actually hadn't thought of that. When there's a copy, how do we grant access? That's a good question. What should it be? Should it be that the buddy pass token? Okay, so if you burn your DCA token before Pulse Chain happens, it'll like the burnt version will be copied over, so there's no in there. But like if you hold it until then, now you have both. Should we make it so that it's like you get 2 buddy passes? I truly hadn't thought about this. That's a great question. So that makes it less scarce because they're equivalent. I don't know. We'll have to think about this. We'll finalize, how that is determined. But yeah, I mean, it will be on Pulse Chain, but the intention was equal number of Access Pass minters to equal number of Buddy Pass users. I guess it wouldn't be so bad if it was 1 part Access members and then like just under 2 to 1 on Pulse Chain. But yeah, good question. Once we sign it in the wallet, V2B testnet, do we later get the tokens also on the Pulse Chain mainnet? When we sign it in the wallet? No. So everything on the testnet is totally dry run. This is not for not for the real marbles. Yay, 1DCA in the MM. I want to transact without having to set an alarm time. Water token. This I miss out. That was with the poly launch. We'll talk about that later. Incentives holding DCA past fork. Yeah, you're right. Holy crap! Now I know why I haven't responded to my DMs today, dude. I'm sorry. So with DMs, I have so many people trying to scam me, and I've almost clicked on a bad phishing DM link. So I'm like, I don't even look at DMs, but I will look at it. Oh yeah. Okay, so while we're talking about it, I'll be on RH Max's show in about 30 minutes. So everyone watching here, let's watch over there. And we'll keep you rocking and rolling. Tonto been busy, that's right. 1 DCA for 500 million pulls. Could be. Save it for the stream. Testnet is fake. Yeah, it's for testing. Testnet. This is my favorite. Okay, my favorite Richard Hart quote ever. Let's see if we can find it. I gotta play it. There's one perfect Richard Hart quote, and it is, Test that. You want to test dog shit, man, the fuck? Use a fucking test net. You know what test coins are worth? They're worth fucking nothing, okay? And you want to know what IOTA should be worth? It should be worth fucking nothing because it's a fucking test net. It should be burnt into the fucking ground. It should die. It's losing people millions of fucking dollars and stealing mind space and stealing mind share from projects that could actually fucking use it. They suck. They're the worst. The fucking worst. Like literally, you might as well just throw your money out the fucking window. Some of it might blow back in. This
is the
Doug,
project currently has.
That's why we have testnet. Testnet. You want to test your test dog shit in dog shit land that sucks? Use a fucking testnet. Literally, that's why we testnet. Gold Key sent me a fan out from the Maximus chat. Win Dip Catcher and Access Alive V2. Dude, whenever, let me know. I'll watch with RH Max. Good to see you. I'll be there for the stream. Let him have it. Do Bitcoin. Dip Catcher Access Max one day. That would be a good one. Did I ever bat? I think they did. Ugh. All right. So I guess recap. Dip Catcher algorithm launching tomorrow. It'll be a private TradingView script you gain access to it by minting your Access Pass. The Access Pass comes with a Buddy Pass. Buddy Pass is called DCA. It's an ERC20 token. You can give it to a friend. You can sell it. You can do whatever with it. And that DCA token is burnt in order to gain access to the algorithm. So the initial minting rate of the Access Pass starts at 0.025 ETH. It's about $40 right now. And every 200 mints, it ratchets up. So we have, so it'll be a finite number of people that get access to it. And then you just simply sign a message with no gas fee to prove that you are eligible for access, and you'll be added to the TradingView script. The TradingView script can be used in a variety of ways, from short-term strategies for like day trading to long-term dollar cost averaging strategies. It was definitely built for dollar cost averaging over a long time frame, but it also just happens to be pretty good on the shorter time frames as well. And I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and relax for a little bit before I get on at 3:30 with RH Max. But go check that out. Follow me on Twitter, tokenomics, and just stay tuned for the launch. Thanks to everyone for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon.